Bonjour everybody. Introducing New Year's Coding or Creating a Skeleton by the French. Let's see. This is still on episode 15, which is why I didn't interrupt myself. Hold on just one moment. Okay, I've already discussed these. Wait a minute, what? I only have like 7 tabs open. How are you consuming 4 gigabytes when I have my RAM limiter on, telling you you can only have 2? Like, and it's just memory tanking. Then again, I can't complain. Unreal Engine also does like 3,000 millibytes of memory. But, yeah. Clean. What? I only have 7 tabs open. How is... There, I closed 2 of them. I only have 5. It is still hard locked at 3.4 or 3.5 gigabytes. Huh. This process group is in efficiency mode. To limit resources used by the process. Oh, it went down to... Oh, never mind. Gosh. I hope I'm gonna have enough memory to do this. Oh, just need to get into my own stream. You know what? gonna quit out of Opera and use my phone. Okay. There. That's about as good as we're gonna get. Let's see. And now that I've dropped that, I now have 65% of the computer's memory rather than 80%. I might just need to restart this computer. Wait, what? Anyway. My computer just started its fan. I only have Unreal and OBS, which is what I'm using to record, but like... Huh? Level build options. Alright, so... I completed a model. Okay, it's the arrow keys that they want me to use. And I feel like that's supposed to be reversed. This is untitled, a blank thing. Content. Projects, all content. Yeah, I don't have anything to add, but basically I need to figure out a way to like place ground and everything. Oh, interesting. This is much more enjoyable. Why don't they start me down here normally? Goodness. The world looks so big from down here. Yeah, and this is also supposed to be a blank. Okay. Import. Huh. No. Nothing. Create new blueprint class. Actor. An actor is an object that can be placed or spawned in the world. Pawn. A pawn is an actor that can be possessed and receive input from a controller. A character is a type of pawn that includes the ability to walk around. Player controller. A player controller is an actor responsible for controlling a pawn used by the player. Game mode base. Game mode base defines the game being played, its rules, scoring, and other factors of the game type. Okay, so basically it's rules and score. I can kind of understand that, but I really don't. Oh, and there's there's no help option on this. The first one that I'm somewhat confused by. Actor component. An actor component is a reusable component that can be added to any actor. Scene component. A scene component is a component that has a scene transform and can be attached to another scene component. Oh. It brought me over to an Unreal Engine site. Okay. So an actor is an object. The pawn can be possessed. And receive input from a controller. The character walks around. I can't really tell the difference between these two. Default pawn class provides only the essentials for creating a physical representation of a player or AI entity in the world. The default pawn subclass comes with some additional components and functions. The default pawn class contains a narrative default pawn movement component, a spherical collision component, and a static mesh component to control the default pawn movement component, as well as the camera. A boolean to add default movement bindings is also present to the default pawn class and is set to true by default. Default pawn movement component. The movement style set to the default pawn movement component is a no gravity flying style in addition to the usual movement component's variables. It includes max speed, acceleration, and deceleration float values. These three variables are also accessible in default pawn derived blueprints. Spectre pawn. The Spectre pawn class is a subclass of default pawn, though a game mode different subclasses can be selected as defaults for pawn and Spectre pawn, and these classes provide a simple framework idea for spectating functionality. Like default pawn, it has a spherical collision component, although the static mesh component is not created due to the implementation of do not create default sub-object super mesh component name. The movement for the Spectre pawn class is handled in the Spectre pawn movement component. The no gravity flying behavior is the same as the default pawn movement component, with added code for handling or ignoring time dilation as necessary. Pawn class is the base class of all actors that can be controlled by players or AI, and pawn is a physical representation of a player or AI entity within the world. This not only means the pawn determines what the player or AI entities look like visually, but also how it interacts with the world in terms of collision and other physical interactions. This can be confusing in certain circumstances, as some types of games may not have a visible player mesh or avatar within the game, Regardless, the pawn still represents the physical location, rotation, etc. of a player or entity within the game. A character is a special type of pawn that has the ability to walk around. It's not the player character, it's just a character. Okay. By default, this is a one-to-one relationship between controllers and pawns, meaning each controller controls only one pawn at any given time. Also, pawns spawned during gameplay are not automatically possessed by a controller. In blueprints, the best way to add movement to your pawn derived classes is with set actor location. With set actor location, you can decide if you want to teleport to the location or sweep. When sweeping, your pawn will move along the direction and stop if it hits something. I almost feel like I learned something, but at the same time, I'm unsure. That being said, I honestly reading these is kind of fun. There is a fun thing. Oh wait. Oh, there's only one person watching. Okay. Anyway, this is characters with the addition of a character movement component, a capsule component, and a skeletal mesh component. The pawn class is extended to the highly featured character class. Oh, a character is designed for a vertically oriented player representation that can walk, run, jump, fly, and swim through the world. This class also contains implementations of basic networking and input modules. Skeletal mesh component. Unlike pawns, characters come with a skeletal mesh component to enable advanced animations that use a skeleton. Okay, that makes sense. It is possible for other skeletal meshes to be added to character-derived classes, but this is the main skeletal mesh associated with the character. For more on skeletal meshes, refer to skeletal mesh actor and skeletal mesh animation system. Okay, capsule component. The capsule component is used for movement collision and order to calculate complicated genomes for the character movement component. This is an assumption that the collision component in the character class is a vertically oriented capsule. Rather, refer to collision and setting up collision with static meshes. Basically, what it means by vertically oriented is that you're standing upright rather than like how a cat might be horizontal on four legs. Character movement component. The character movement component allows avatars not using rigid body physics to move by walking, running, jumping, flying, falling, and swimming. It is specific to characters and cannot be implemented by any other class. Properties that can be set in the character movement component include values for falling and walking, friction, speeds for travel through air and water and across land, buoyancy, gravity, scale, and the physics force is the character can exert on physical objects. The character movement component also includes root motion parameters that come from the animation and are already transformed in world space, ready for use by physics. Okay, I feel like I have learned something. I'm pretty sure what I need is an actor. An actor is any object that can be placed into a level, such as a camera, static mesh, or player start location. Okay, actors support 3D transformations such as translation, rotation, and scaling. They can be created, spawned, and destroyed through gameplay code, C++, or blueprints. A C++ actor is the base class of all actors. Note that actors do not directly store, transform, location, rotation, and scale data. The transform data of an actor's root component, if one exists, is used instead. Alright, processing that. That might not. Actor. Let's see. Name. New blueprint. Name is Earth. I'm pretty sure it has an A in it. What the? Oh, now it's using... no, it isn't. What is... Viewpoint, how do I... My blueprint... Earth, okay. Creating actors. Creating new instance of actor class is called spawning. This can be done using the generic spawn actor function or one of its specialized template versions. See spawning and destroying an actor for detailed info into various methods of creating instances of actor classes for gameplay, components. Ooh, this section goes on for a bit of a while. Actors can be thought of in one sentence as containers that hold special types of objects. Wait, this isn't an object? I was working under the assumption that these were objects. Import let's see, actor, character, pawn, player, start, trigger box, trigger sphere, shapes, Q, right, it's Oh, it's all the way up there? What do you mean? Oh, wow. This thing's actually tiny. Two things unsaved. Alright. Time to... Yeah, I don't know how big this is compared to my player model. Even then, I'm guessing maybe at best it's like Minecraft height. Advanced materials, element 0. That sounds like some sort of sci-fi bullshit. Element 0. Gosh, that just made my mind race for a hot minute. For like actually 5 seconds before I got it back under control. Physics, material, advanced lighting, physics. Okay, should probably wait a minute. Oh, can I? No. Alright, I thought I could push it there for a second. But it is no longer slightly levitating. See? Alright. And then collision. Yes. Generate what? Okay. Now then. Does that let me push it? Static mesh is just cube. Materials. I don't know what baking means, so I'm going to leave it out of the oven. I think something that would be really neat is if you had like up here was a spyglass, and if you clicked on something, it wouldn't let you like click on anything, but it would like bring on these things that enable gravity groove. If true physics should be right. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, right. Simulation generates hits, plus material override, generate overlaps. Yes. Actor hidden in game, material cache. Texture. Cooking. If true, the component will be excluded from non-editor builds. Okay, so wait, this is like a game tester's cheat code. So if they were like making a platformer, they'd have like they'd do through a level to make sure it's possible. Then they'd have like these blocks and turn uh this on just to make like parkour sections easier so that they can get to certain parkour sections. Maybe that's the first use case that comes to mind. Either that or it's dev specific stuff that they want to use like to test things. But yeah, that's what I'm pretty sure it's trying to say. Can be damaged. Mobile. Huh. Oh, wait, I can turn left, I can turn right, and I can move back and forth if I click left mouse button. That's cool. Okay. I still feel like I've learned nothing. Maybe that's alright, though. There's only the content folder, which I'm going to have to move. One moment. Yeah. Then from File, Explorer, school stuff. Desktop. Unreal Engine. Status. Oh, I also have the Sandbox Game Maker. Wow. Yeah, I remember. I got that a while back when I was trying to make games. And then just kind of dropped it. Let's see. If I click on that twice, that just tries to create a new one. And I don't need that. Open, as administrator, no, that. Open file location. Where's my... Oh, there. Up one. Third party. Okay, so this is just a bunch of company names that are third party. Okay. Oh, there's content. I need... copy as path. Okay, school stuff. And then open in new tab. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's see. Open a new window? That's also not what I wanted. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's actually how that works. Okay. Shortcut. Paste. Okay, then. Running donut. Don't save any content, I think. Okay, get rid of that.
So you want to bring a basic object from Blender to Unreal.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm just trying to figure out how
Not
to...
a problem. If you have a simple UV
Oh gosh, it's still trying to...
mapped textured object, the easiest way to get it to Unreal is by selecting it, File, Export FBX, Selected Objects. Under Geometry, you can apply modifiers if you have them, change smoothing from normals to face, and if you don't have a rig, turn off Add Leaf Bones. If you don't have an animation, then don't bake any. Export, and then in Unreal, Control Spacebar to bring up the content browser. Import, find your object in all the related texture maps. Import up the content animation, then don't bake any. Export, and then in Unreal, Control Spacebar to bring up the content browser. Import, find your object in all the related texture maps. Import.
So I looked this up, and it's import objects from Blender to Unreal 5 in 2 minutes. The problem with that is that it's actually 1 minute and 41 seconds. Some of that is, like 20 seconds of that is outro. So he doesn't actually take any of the time to explain anything. But yeah. So I think I'm just going to use today's stream to lay out the foundation of what's to come. Let's see. Go down. No. And then I need to type something. Okay. Let's see. Make dirt. Make dirt. Figure out X. Oh no. Honestly, it should probably be figure out importing. Actually, I could probably just call it porting. But yeah, those are currently the two things I need done that I know of. And we can continue for there. I need to make the dirt that I'm going to use, figure out porting. This is probably honestly, this might be lower on my to-do list simply because it's going to get complicated. And figuring out porting should be easy enough. I just need to...
Then don't bake any. Export rig fires UV mapped textured object. The easiest way to get it to Unreal is by selecting it, File, Export FBX, Selected Objects.
Okay.
Under Geometry, you can apply modifiers if you have them, change smoothing from normals to face, and if you don't have a rig, turn off add leaf bones. If you don't have an animation, then don't bake any. Export, and then it...
Okay, so go into Blender. Atom 4.
UV mapped textured object. The easiest way to get it to Unreal is by selecting it, File,
Selecting it, File, Export FBEX.
Export FBX, Selected Objects, under
Delete that last one so I can do it properly.
Geometry, you can apply modifiers if you have them, change smoothing from normals.
Geometry. Smoothing from normals to faces. Apply modifiers if I have any. I don't think I do, but also I don't exactly know if I do.
To face, and if you don't have a rig, turn off add leaf bone.
One moment. Let me let you guys see what I'm trying to do because I don't exactly think this... Yeah, this doesn't show anything I think I'd be ashamed to admit as on my computer, as opposed to other things I keep on my laptop.
If you don't have an animation, then don't bake any. Export, and then in Unreal, Control Spacebar to bring up the
Okay, and then export. And then... Oh, one moment. Oh, I just got rid of my one moment. Oh well, this'll serve as my new one moment screen. Unreal Engine. One moment.
Animation, then don't bake it.
Yeah, my projects. Okay, yeah, there is just one new one that is just my project. Okay.
export, and then in Unreal, control spacebar.
Okay. Control spacebar. Okay. Now I need to go into my files and do some stuff because it isn't showing up here and I don't know exactly why. School stuff, I have a thing called Content Unreal. External actors, internal objects, animation. There's a bunch of folders in here. And I don't entirely know how to do this. I don't know if this is the correct content folder that I'm supposed to be looking for. Wait, no, I'm supposed to import. School stuff.
To bring up the content browser, import, find your object in all the related texture maps. Import. If you get this message, it means that you forgot to check smoothing to face instead of normals. Now, to add textures to it, double-click the object, then double-click the material, and you will essentially find yourself in a...
One moment.
You get this message, import, find your object in all the related texture maps. Import. If you get this message, it means that you forgot to check smoothing to face instead of normals. Now, to add textures to it, double-click the object, then double-click the material, and...
Wait, what?
Of normals. Now, to add textures to it, this message, it means that you forgot to check...
He just skips the part I'm on. Import. So message log. Okay. Had some unallowed bone poses. That isn't concerning at all. Okay, content drawer. Oh, whoa. Oh, God. Wait a minute. It broke his neck. I was right to be concerned. I was very right to be concerned. One moment. The skeleton. Yeah, let me. No, it just creates the entire thing. Let's see, which, this isn't very good at looking at arms. Main, arm, foot, hip, spine, lower arm, and no, chest, calf, hand. Wait, what? Then there's So it's for this hand. The neck. So that's how that works. Head. So what exactly is going wrong? Which part of it? Is it the calv R, calv L? No. It's not those. Upper arm. Upper arm. No. Hand, no. Neck, head. Oh gosh, I don't even know what exactly is wrong with this. Like, how do I fix something when I don't know how it broke? Oh no, that's the legs. Head end. Okay, so viewpoint, scalable, selectable, yeah. Custom properties, no. In front, okay. So which part would even be broken in this instance? Like, how do you get to the point where it's this? Wait, is it? It's just his head. Okay, what about like here? Is it like rotated? Bendy bones, no. Transform. Rotation is 1. Rotation 0. Okay. So no, that doesn't seem to be the problem. Rotations is always at least 1. First deform. Yeah. Viewpoint display. Pose bone. Bone. Custom shape, no. Rectify type. Is it here? What? Oh wait, I'm supposed to be in edit mode for this, aren't I? Wait a minute, pose? Yeah. Transform, scale, rotation. I remember there There was something I had to... Can I even, like... Okay, let's just see if I can even copy what it tried doing. That was the wrong axis. Angle. Yeah, that's not how that works. It's not what this did. Okay. That is so, for instance, I think, let me see. Yeah, it's stretching this. That's what deform means. That's what the deform section is. Technically, yes, this is caused by deformation. However, that's a different problem. It's caused by something else. This is it deforming. Okay. Okay. There. And I think I'll handle that tomorrow. It's been only an hour, but yeah. I need to do some stuff. So as always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time, which should be tomorrow. I might do some stuff off stream, but for right now, this is what we have.